Hello, welcome to the Great Lakes Intercollegiate Athletic Conference preview of Tiffin University men's basketball. My name is Russ Snyder, your voice of the Dragons, alongside head coach Jerry Buccilla. Coach, how are we doing today?
Doing wonderful, Russ. Glad to be here with you, my man.
It's about that time, right? Pretty close to getting it going. Season starting real soon. So let's talk about your kids. Last year's campaign, bringing some kids back from last year's team. A lot of depth in the backcourt, not as much in the front court. Let's start with your backcourt first. I think your conversation all begins with a kid who didn't get a lot out of the last couple of years due to injury, but Khalil McCormick back this year, and that's a key bonus for your kids.
Yeah, I'm excited about Khalil, and he's been working hard in this off season to get his body right and be ready for the challenge ahead of him. One of the top players in the GLIAC the last 2 years, and the season's been shortened for the young man, and we're just really excited about being able to watch him compete this year, and very hopeful that he gets a fine senior campaign.
He's a very versatile player. He can play the guard, he can play the wing, and probably even sub into the post if you need him to. But let's talk about some of the guards. A lot of guys with a lot of experience coming back. Alex Brown, Tony Kennard, Terrell Mavens, Juwan Johnson, just name a few. Got a lot of depth, a lot of good basketball players in your backcourt.
Yeah, our strength definitely will be, in the backcourt. There's 4 double-digit scorers returning in that group. They all bond well. They understand their roles. We're going to be a little different looking than we've been in the past, with not having the size that we've had in the past. But we're excited about the quickness and the intensity that these guys will put on the floor every night for us.
Well, in the post, you do have some size. Mohamed Rage, 7-footer. Besides that, not a lot of depth. You got a newcomer in Ellis Williams, a guy who's going to be playing, I'm sure, a lot of power forward as well as some of the 5 spot for you guys. Talk about the key to your post players, and I'm sure it's keeping those guys on the floor out of foul trouble just because of your lack of depth there. But it doesn't mean those aren't really good basketball players.
Yeah, Mo's coming back he's a 5th-year senior, and he's given us some very good minutes over the last few years, and we expect a lot out of Mo, being a 5th-year senior. And as you said, a 7-footer, a little thin, but then Ellis comes off the bench or could be starting. Those two will compete for that post position at 6'8", about 260, 265, so a little different than Mo and what he brings to the court. And really at the post, we have another young man who redshirted last year who's versatile, can play the 5, play the 4, and play the wing, and Brandon Wilkins, and he's a very strong body, 6'5". So we're comfortable with our inside game, just a little different in terms of what you'll see on the floor than compared to what you've seen in the past.
One thing I know, I haven't had experience to see Ellis on the floor a lot, but one thing I've noticed watching him in warm-ups and seeing him on practice, he is about 6'8", but I think he probably plays bigger than that because I feel like he's quick off the floor, isn't he? He probably gets up there just as well as some of those bigger players in him because of his quickness.
Ellis?
Yes.
Yeah, Ellis, yeah. He's an athletic big at that size, and he'll surprise you with his leaping ability, and he can actually guard out on the wing some as well. So, I think we're going to be okay there. But again, I think our strength will be the guard play. And then we have a few other guys that redshirted last year, and a newcomer in Austin Adams who comes to us. He's a sophomore out of Toledo Cardinal Stretch, a 6'5" wing who is going to add some real nice depth to our squad as well.
Sounds like some of the newcomers you have coming in are kind of versatile players. Finding in that 3-4 spot, those wing type players that you can use at a few different positions. Sounds like you're looking for some versatility out of some of these new kids coming in. Absolutely,
and it just gives you flexibility on what you can do both offensively and defensively if you have guys that can guard post players, but yet can play out at the wing or off guard position, if you will.
Everybody knows how difficult the GLIAC conference is across the board in all the sports. It's going to be important for you guys to get a good start before you get to that conference play. And it all starts with the GMAC GLIAC Challenge that you guys will get going on November 11th before you take a trip to Puerto Rico as well. Good team bonding experiences, but also you need to get some W's on this trip and get your team off to a good start.
Yeah, that GMAC GLIAC Challenge is a great opener. We're playing the top 2 teams in the GMAC, in Kentucky Wesleyan and Alderson Broaddus. And if you remember back to last year, we had a very close loss against Kentucky Wesleyan. It came down to the last seconds. Then we had a double overtime win against Alderson Broaddus. So we're excited about opening up with 2 top teams right off the start.
December 1st, your first conference game will be on the road at Northwood before you come home for your first conference home game against Wayne State on December 8th. Conference, I'm sure, as always, as we mentioned just a moment ago, super tough. Top to bottom, still just as tough as always.
Very balanced this year. There were some key players who left the conference, but there's a lot of experience back, and it's going to be a battle day in and day out.
Season gets started right around the corner. Coach, can't wait to get in there and get on behind the mic and broadcast your kids doing your games. As we said, get started November 11th, the GMAC GLIAC preview. First conference game December 1st. First home conference game is December 8th. His name is Jerry Buccilla. He's the head coach of Tiffin University basketball. My name is Russell Snyder, voice of the Dragons. This has been your look at Tiffin University basketball preview for the Great Lakes Intercollegiate Athletic Conference.